So, you're a new family in Australia and you're thinking about childcare. It can feel like a massive challenge, right? It's not just about finding a great, safe place for your kids, it's about figuring out a system that could either cost you a fortune or literally save you tens of thousands of dollars a year. So, in this explainer, we're going to break it all down for you. Okay, let's just get right to it. The big question on everyone's mind is childcare in Australia just way too expensive? And, when you first see the prices, the answer feels like a huge definite yes. And yeah, this number right here is exactly why. We're talking about an average of $129 per day, per child, before any help from the government. That adds up so fast, it's mind-boggling. But, and listen, this is a huge but, that is not the price most eligible families actually end up paying. Because this number, this is the real game changer. We're talking about the government's Child Care Subsidy, or CCS, as you'll hear it called, and it can cover up to 90% of your fees. This subsidy is the absolute key to making childcare affordable here. And for migrant families, there's some absolutely fantastic news. Unlike a lot of other government payments, the Child Care Subsidy has no waiting period for residents on the right visa. What does that mean for you? It means you can get this financial help from day one. No waiting around. All right, so here's our game plan for this explainer. We're going to cover the costs and the subsidy, then look at just how much you can save. We'll get into the nitty-gritty of who's eligible, walk you through how to actually enroll your child, and then tie it all together with planning your family's future in Australia. Okay, let's jump right into our first section. Before we get to the money-saving part, you need to know about the two main types of approved childcare. These are the ones that actually qualify for that government support. So, you've got two main choices. On one hand, you have long day care. This is probably what you picture when you think of childcare. It's center-based, bigger groups, structured learning, and they often include meals, which is a nice bonus. Then, on the other hand, you've got family daycare. This is a totally different vibe. It's in someone's home, the groups are much smaller, and you might get more flexible hours. Both are totally regulated and eligible for the subsidy, so it really just comes down to what feels right for your family. All right, now for the part you've been waiting for, the big question. How much money can you actually save? Let's break down exactly how that childcare subsidy is calculated. Okay, so the whole system is tiered, right? It's designed to give the most help to families who need it most. As you can see here, if your combined family income is under about $85,000, you're getting that maximum 90% subsidy. Then, as your income goes up, the percentage you get slowly goes down. It's pretty straightforward. And get this, there's another amazing bonus. If you have more than one kid under 5 in care at the same time, the government actually bumps up the rate for your second child and any others after that, all the way up to 95%. It's a massive, massive help for bigger families. So what does this actually look like in the real world? Let's take a look. Imagine a family earning $90,000 a year. Their weekly bill for 3 days of care might be $390. Ouch. But after their subsidy kicks in at about 89%, their actual out-of-pocket cost plummets to just $60 a week. That is an annual saving of around $18,000. It's completely transformative. Okay, so of course, there are rules you have to meet to qualify for this. Let's dig into the two biggest ones. Something called the activity test, and what's absolutely crucial for new migrants, your visa status. So, this activity test, it used to be a real pain for a lot of families. Basically, your subsidized hours depended on how much both parents worked or studied. If one parent wasn't working, guess what? You got zero subsidy. It was tough. But, and this is huge, there is a massive, game-changing reform coming on January 5th, 2026. From that day on, every single eligible family will be guaranteed a minimum of 72 subsidized hours per fortnight. That's about 3 days a week, no matter what your activity level is. This is a massive win for single-income families or anyone who's still settling in. Now, for the second key, and honestly, this one is non-negotiable. It's your visa. This is absolutely critical. As you can see in this table, it's pretty black and white. If you're on a permanent visa or a provisional partner visa like a 309 or 820, you're good to go. You're eligible. But, and this is the tough part, a lot of very common temporary work visas, like the 482 employer-sponsored visa or the 491 skilled regional visa, are unfortunately not eligible. And this right here is what we call the eligibility cliff. It's a huge drop-off. For those families on visas that aren't eligible, the financial burden is just immense. They're paying the same taxes as everyone else, but they have to cover the full unsubsidized cost of care. We're talking about costs that can easily top $50,000 a year just for one child. This is a major, major factor you have to think about when you're planning your migration journey. Okay, so let's say you've checked your visa, you've done the math, and you've confirmed you're eligible. Fantastic. So, what do you do next? Let's walk through the practical step-by-step process of actually enrolling your child and getting that subsidy. Really, it all comes down to these three main steps. Step 1, find a center and get a spot. And my best advice, get on those wait lists as early as you possibly can. Step 2, once you have a spot confirmed, you'll complete all the enrollment paperwork and, importantly, provide your child's immunization records. And then step 3, you'll need to jump onto your MyGov online account and link it to Centrelink. That's the government's social security agency to officially claim your subsidy. Now, this next point is a really important one, especially for new migrants. It's about those immunization records. See, the child care centers can't just accept your records from overseas directly. Here's what you have to do. You need to visit a local doctor, we call them a GP, with all your child's records. That GP will review them and officially add them to the Australian Immunization Register, or AIR. If there are any gaps, they'll just create what's called a catch-up schedule. And here's the key thing to remember. As soon as your child is on that schedule, they are considered up to date and you're good to go for enrollment. All right, let's zoom out a bit for our final section and see how this all fits into the bigger picture. Because honestly, understanding the childcare system isn't just about short-term budgeting. It is a fundamental part of planning your family's entire life and future here in Australia. And this is really where your whole migration journey comes into focus. Now, a migration agent isn't going to fill out your Centrelink forms for you, but their advice is what lays the entire foundation. See, choosing the right visa pathway from the very beginning is what determines whether you'll even have access to amazing benefits like the Child Care Subsidy. A good agent helps you plan that pathway to permanent residency with these huge family costs already factored in. They help you navigate changes like if you need to apply for a partner visa or add a new child to your application. It's all about making sure you're on the right track from day one. So at the end of the day, it's your visa status that is the key. It's what unlocks childcare affordability for your family. Planning that journey carefully, right from the very start, can literally save you tens of thousands of dollars and set your family up for a really successful future in Australia. So the big question to leave you with is your family's migration plan built with these crucial details in mind?